Hi, my name is Sabri Blumberg, and I'm the Deputy Chief Operating Officer here at MGE, and I'm going to be doing this week's Tip of the Week. And this week's tip of the week is going to be on how do I know if my overhead's too high? And I actually get asked this question a lot because ultimately overhead determines whether you are making money out of the business. In order to answer this question intelligently, I think the first thing that I need to go over is what is the difference between overhead and how much money you're spending, which would ordinarily be covered in a P&L. A P&L is a piece of paper that would be used by your accountant or your bank in order to obtain bank loans or do your taxes or something like that. A P&L is not an accurate figure on how much money you need to run your business. A P&L would be more indicative on how much money you're actually spending, which how much money you're spending very often has nothing to do with what your overhead is. So the first thing to determine is what is your overhead? Now, things that would be included in your overhead is things that you need in your business in order for the business to survive and expand, right? These would be things like rent, supplies, labs, salaries, a marketing budget, things like this. If you have any questions on what things should be represented in my overhead, please shoot me an email. I'd be happy to send you an overhead sheet. Now, once you have calculated all these different categories and how much money you are spending or should be spending in those categories, and then compare it against your average income, now you'll get an accurate idea on what is my overhead versus how much money I'm spending, so what is my profit. If you don't have a lot of money left after that, then you know your overhead is too high, and you need to take a look at it. Are the things that are in my overhead absolutely necessary to the survival and expansion of my business? If they're not, you may need to cut some of these things out of your overhead until you're in a condition where you can afford these things in your business. Another thing to look at is if you have cut all the unnecessary expenses out of your overhead and you're still left with a number that is too high, then you need to start examining the business that I currently have. How much money should it be making? Right? Because then you're probably underproducing. In other words, you're paying for things, a facility, marketing, staff, that should be making you X amount of dollars every month, and it's not, right? This is a completely different subject, but if you have trouble with that, you get stuck on that part of your overhead, please give us a call, and we'd be more than happy to do a consultation for you to see where are you losing money. Let me wrap this up by saying that overhead is a very large subject. There's a lot to know about it. So if you're having trouble with your overhead, please feel free to contact us at 1-800-640-1140, and we will be happy to help you with this.